From the north to the south to the east to the west, let the baller take you home. Island style represent.
You've got a friend, Dennis. It's literally touching you. Maybe give me the big camera, Elliot. The dive one. Oh, even the GoPro. The GoPro will do. Just throw me the GoPro. Does it float? Yep. Throw it, throw it. That was cool. That was TSI, eh? Woo! So we've just had a really big issue that's going to ruin our whole trip all the way back down the coast, and that's to do with our motor guide. We were just running along, nothing different. It was actually just flat, as you can see behind me. A calm day, just a couple of little lumps, and then our motor guide disconnected itself somehow on the run, and we use this for all of our dives, especially deep dives, to help us stay on spot. So I'm hoping we'll be able to fix it somehow and get it up and running before we leave.
Step aside.
Ouch. A little bit of heat and the glue is let go. Now to get a replacing pole in there. So this is what's happened to the shaft or the pole of the motor guide. I've had to cut it and it just shattered the fiberglass. We've got a similar aluminium pole, so we're gonna try and see if we can replace the heavy duty fiberglass with the aluminium. Hopefully we've got something that might be able to work. So bush mechanic. Thanks to Jason, he's hooked us up. We've basically replaced the fiberglass post and found an exact same in an aluminium pipe. Resources up here are very limited, so we had to actually find two pieces of the same post, weld it together to make the right length, and then fit it all through, and now we're about to give it a test. It was time to leave TI and journey 1,000 kilometers down the east coast to Cairns. Our first destination was to revisit one of our favorite shipwrecks, Golden Girl. Well, we tried the motor guide, and when we needed a lot of force, it pretty much bent the aluminium pole. So there's a lot of force coming out of that little motor that even like a strong aluminium fresh pole couldn't do. So unfortunately, we're without our motor guide for the coastal trip back down, which really stops us from doing a lot of good dives on deep stuff. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to make do without it and see how we go. On a brighter note, new wetsuit. So I'm gonna throw that on and see how it goes. Blue wetsuit in green water. Oh, nice one.
school?
No,
Just a stray one.
stray one just came in and just owned him.
Yeah, I did the same.
Yeah, bro. Sweet. Not bad, good size. While the weather was in our favor, we all decided to push further south into the night to reach an island so remote that we would have it all to ourselves.
Saunders Islet was very pretty. It's fairly offshore. It's like 30 mile offshore, I think it was.
It was a beautiful island, magical, fairway offshore, water was clear.
White sand, there's turtle tracks. It was like a picture of paradise where we were.
It looks like a very nice island, nice sandy beach, clear water around.
We were pretty tired from spearfishing a lot for the last 4 or 5 days. We sort of had that morning off in a way.
Found a cool feather. Stick it in your hat. New headpiece. Make me fly. Such a beautiful small island, but like a lot of them, all the shorelines have just got rubbish washed up along the shores. But a lot of cool other stuff as well.
Dennis and Rory were just sitting in the water practically, watching this big mullet and stuff swim by, and probably 15 or 20 meters of is in, you know, the most idyllic sort of spot.
We were literally in this much water, but I'm just kind of sinking in. So I'm kind of squatting in the water like this and had it up to here. It was probably the safest water we were in all trip.
We were just talking about how nice it is to just relax, not have to dive hard and go and chase fish all the time, but just to come to a nice island with beautiful clear water, nice sandy beach.
I got onto the boat and I was thinking about jumping in and just sitting there as well when Rory said he started feeling funny under his arm there.
And then I just suddenly felt a bit of a sting under my shoulder here. And I immediately just told Dennis, like, oh man, I got stung. It wasn't like a super painful thing in the moment. It was just like a bit of a sting, like a regular jellyfish sting. And Dennis goes, oh really? All right, we'll hop back in the boat and just see how you feel.
And then he showed me, and you could see very, very faintly just red markings sort of thing. Not so much in lines, but just marks over an area of, say, that big.
We didn't really want to think it, but it did come to my mind, and it came to all of our minds. Rory thought it as well.
Maybe 20 minutes total of Rory starting to feel a bit off. He was sitting down and then he was saying, okay, yeah, no, I'm not good right now. I think I've been done by maybe near a kanji or something.
We set off, and it was, I believe it was only when I started feeling my throat closing up that we realized that we needed to get help ASAP, that it wasn't just a pain management thing and that I could potentially suffocate. And at that point, Dennis started to look at possible options. I was aware of an island called Hicks with an airstrip.
Rory's not feeling well, he's been stung by something. And so we're going to have to move as soon as we can to get to some help, just in case things deteriorate.
I had to kind of come to terms with the fact that we are in one of the most remote parts of Australia. There was really no help going to come in time if I stopped breathing.
Try the radio again. How you feeling? Still sore? Are you deteriorating or are you still holding?
His shoulders feel similar, but it's now just down here.
Rory was cramping up, uncontrollable shakes, and he was throwing up.
Had pain going through all his neck, arms. He was sort of seizing up a bit.
I'm going to try the radio again.
Dennis was really having to punch into it to get to Hicks Island. One of the bean bags tore open, and then the back of the bimini mounts broke. Literally just with the banging of the waves.
I called out for help, pan, just to all stations, any stations. I tried multiple times on the radio, on the VHF Marine radio, and there was no reply. Pan, all sides. Monkey business. Anyone on channel 160.
We got to the harbour of Hicks Island. I jumped off the front of the boat, ran up the hill, ran down the hill to another shed area, yelling the whole time.
Oh, man. A lot of pain, man. Yeah, man, we'll try and get you some help ASAP.
Ran back up to over the hill, heard little motorbike, I assumed, and it was like a golf buggy, dune buggy thing with Frank coming over the hill.
Just get a couple more, Elliot. Just give him 2 more.
So just tell me what your symptoms are right now. Severe aching in the back, legs, hips, headache, tight throat.
Hicks Island has a little runway. I don't have the needles, they're just up there. The Royal Flying Doctor Service leaves a medical kit there, and the medical kit has a heap of prescribed drugs. Now I've got one.
Got morphine.
Okay.
Got the capsule.
Cool. Just relax, bro. I'm gonna go straight in there. It might have a little bit of a sting.
Yeah, it's roaring.
Just trying to get over here.
Yeah, man.
ASAP, please.
Yeah. Got it, bro.
Giving you just half a mil. How you traveling, bro?
Been better. Been a whole lot better. Gotta be some of the worst pain I've ever had, if not the worst.
What sort of pain are you feeling?
Just really intense aches in the bones and joints and muscles, particularly around shoulders, back, hips, and then stomach cramps. Been throwing up, bile, headache, sore throat. Not good.
And they recommended for me to have a go at the green whistle. So I started blowing on that one, and that definitely distracted me. Definitely got me pretty ripped.
Listen, harmless customers I found are appearing on television. I'd like to say that you are filming Legend of the North, and you couldn't have come to a better place to get some kind of treatment. The worst case that happened is we cut his arm off.
Slowly on the mend.
Slowly on the mend. Still got some pretty nasty aches, but no sharp pains anymore. And yeah, it's good to know I've kind of got through the worst of it. They've been really nice here. Just helped us out and gave us some of their medical supplies and made a few calls for us. So very grateful. Very, very grateful.
Now you can get in. 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Once again, the Legend's taken over. We're now in the Medivac vehicle on our way. Now I'm I'm pissed off. I'm sick of them, so I'm off to Haggerston Island.
For more beers.
How's the hospitality though, eh? We get a chauffeur and a beer.
Huge thanks to him, Frank, the Legend of the North, for extending the hospitality. He didn't know me at all, and took me in and gave me his medical supplies and let me throw up on his couch. So thanks so much, Frank.
So we're back at Lockhart River. It was a rough run, but we had to get Rory here so we could fly him out and get him back home where he can get looked at, checked over at the hospital and stuff. It's pretty rough here today, so we're gonna try and look for shelter and let this windy part pass, and then we can make our way back down the coast. Everything's changed now just because we've lost Rory and the motor guide, so we're just gonna probably stick to some reefs and get some fish and head home. It's actually pretty loud because we've got the surround sound happening, and we're gonna chill out and have a movie day and wait for our ride to get here.
1 hour later.
Can't watch anymore, so we've decided we're gonna go out to the reef while we wait for our car to get here. So we're driving back down to Cairns. Since the weather's so bad, we've got a few broken bits and pieces and down to 2 guys. It's nice and comfy in here, but we're over it.
Always fun, eh?
Zenith Reef.
Looks pretty good, eh, Elliot?
Why Reef?
The last one we had a whole heap of birds, really cool, and they were nesting, so we had to stay away from them because there was little chicks and stuff when we got in a little bit closer, so, and that's why they weren't flying off, so we tried to stay away not to disturb them. We've got one more sand cay to check out, then we're gonna head back home to Lockhart for the night, waiting for our lift. Thanks to a good friend of ours, he's come up in the car and trailer and picked us up at Lockhart. Everything doesn't go to plan, but the good thing is we're all safe and we're heading home.